Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my own gym shenanigans. Last time I did the dark type to kick off this series, and you guys seemed to really enjoy it. The comment with the most upvotes on that video came to be the fairy type, and boy do I have some fun for you guys. The fairy typing is one of those types where it just feels playful, mischievous, illusionist, etc. In a sense, the dark type and it are very similar despite them being opposite typings, except this time, as a fairy type gym leader, I'm not gonna be as dark. Or maybe, I don't know. You guys will see what I mean as I delve further into this. You might also get lost along the way. Before we begin though, I create exclusive content over on Mystic Umbreon Shorts every day with Pokemon facts, and 2 exclusive series on the weekend. I also read anime fanfics over on Mystic Reads. Right now, I'm reading Road to be a Pokemon Master. I'm also streaming again, over on my channel, Mystic Arion. I will leave all these channels in the description below. With that said, let's begin now. So, how would I look as a fairy type gym leader? I could go look pink and do what Opal, Bede, and Valerie did, but I want to take a different approach. See, what I'm trying to do is to be fun with my challengers. Maybe throw some illusions along the way, and perhaps do a little bit of a fun item searching game. To do that, I need to come off as mysterious, yet playful. I would wear a mask and sport some sort of dark green cloak to blend in with my surroundings. The mask, of course, would be fairy type themed, with some pink characteristics. By now, I think you've got a general idea of what kind of gym I would have. It would be an enchanted forest with illusions, tricksters, and a maze. There could be noises and such by other Pokemon as well, from Galarian Ponyta, Clefairy, etc. The goal for the challenger would be to find the correct mask. To find the mask, the challenger would have to follow the sounds of the Pokemon while still trying to find the correct mask. Of course, I wouldn't reveal the correct mask, because then it would be too easy. If you're a Legend of Zelda fan, you've probably realized now I've taken some inspiration from the Lost Woods. I think the theme fits well for a fairy type gym. And plus, not to mention, we have Glenwood Tangle, so it would pretty much be that, but in its own gym. With that, to aid with distracting the challenger in this vast forest, of course there has to be some trickster Pokemon. And what fairy Pokemon isn't a trickster? The Grimmsnarl line would definitely have to be there, making some rustling noises, and doing the typical stuff they do in Glenwood Tangle. But like my dark gym, I need to have a couple of sidekicks. For my dark gym, I had a Murkrow that would hover over the challenger, distracting them from puzzles, etc. For this mysterious forest, I definitely would have a Clefairy, perhaps running around doing some metronome fun. Now, you tell me if this is too dangerous, because an explosion might go off. But I mean, come on. Metronome shenanigans are always fun, right? Sylveon would be the Pokemon to show the challenger they are on the right track. But of course, I wouldn't tell the challengers that. They would have to figure that out for themselves. It has a calming aura about it, so that would bring some comfort while traversing through the forest. Gardevoir or Kirlia would be another Pokemon that would more or less follow the challenger, but wouldn't necessarily do anything. It would just teleport from behind or to the side, or wherever just to throw the challenger off into thinking something was following them. As for my team, the team of 6 would be Clefable, Whimsicott, Tinkaton, Grimmsnarl, Azumarill, and Sylveon as my ace. Clefable is a no-brainer because it has the ability Magic Guard and offers a plethora of coverage. Plus, not to mention some bulkiness added to the mix. I would run a mixture of some coverage moves, but also perhaps from time to time throw in some Wish support. That way I could keep my team nice and healthy. So I guess Moonblast, Wish, Protect, and some other kind of coverage, perhaps Flamethrower for Still types. I may also run a Calm Mind set from time to time, so my challengers would have no idea what I have planned. For Whimsicott, obviously Prankster is the only way. Leech Seed, Taunt, Thunderwave, Substitute. This is to just straight up annoy anyone that dares challenge my gym. As a fairy gym leader, I do have to be fun and mischievous. Though if my own Whimsicott gets taunted, well then, I don't know. I'm also totally not giving challengers advice right now. Tinkaton is one of Gen 9's most beloved babies. And of course, you know, I gotta run Gigaton Hammer, Play Rough, Knockoff, or perhaps even Thunderwave too. This would be my deadly offensive power. No Pokemon really wants to take a hit from a Gigaton Hammer. Grimmsnarl is returning for my dark team. And I mean, how could I not? This creepy imp slays. As I mentioned in my dark gym, I would run a dual screen set with the ability Prankster. So now, my team so far has a Cleric and some screens for extra defense. Azumarill would be another source of offensive physical power, with the belly drum set and the typical huge power shenanigans. Lastly is Sylveon, and I would run it with Hyper Voice and Wish for pretty much cleric support. Now some of you are probably typing out already, but you already have a Wish support Pokemon with Clefable. True, I do. But I can run my Mons however I want, and I'm also aware that I do not have a lot of special attackers. That's why from time to time, depending on how I feel, Gardevoir would be used as a secondary ace as a Calm Mind setup Pokemon, with Clefable being the cleric. So essentially, I would be able to switch cleric roles whenever I wanted to throw off my opponents. Guardy or Clefable can both run pretty aggressive Calm Mind sets, so it really depends on my mood. And also, what kind of fairy type gym would this be if I didn't mention the channel's secondary mascot Gardevoir? I mean, come on, Gardevoir's pretty much a staple at this point, right? Of course, when it comes to rematch teams, like some in past games, there have been held items involved. For Clefable, I would definitely run leftovers to ensure I get recovery. It also wouldn't matter what set I'm running. I just think leftovers is the best choice. Whimsicott would also be leftovers, because that can stack well with Leech Seed. Azumarill, if I want to run pure offense, obviously just a choice band. But if I want a belly drum set, I think leftovers works. Grimmsnarl would obviously be light clay for screens, and lastly Sylveon would also be leftovers, because it would be playing the role of a healer. Gardevoir, if I did choose to run it, I would either use leftovers or a life orb. I think these items are more or less reliable ones for what I'm going for here. So this team I mentioned is basically my rematch team, like how I did with my dark type gym. For my main team for a challenger who has 7 badges looking to get their 8th badge, would just have Clefable, Azumarill, Sylveon, and Grimmsnarl. So we have a pretty solid team of 4 here for an 8th badge team. However, for other badges, all 6 of these mons can be swapped around. Maybe for the first 3 badges, I just have the first 3 mons I mentioned, but as Clefairy, Marill, and Sylveon as the main ace. For later badges, I may swap some of these around, like switching Azumarill for Tinkaton, and maybe rather than screens, I could use Whimsicott for prankster theatrics. I love the idea of rotating Pokemon out. That way there's never a for sure team anyone can prep for. I honestly wished Game Freak would rotate Pokemon out from the gym leaders' arsenals, so that way in every playthrough it's different somehow. One last thing I want to cover is my badge design. Essentially, it would be in the shape of a Glimwood Tangle-like mushroom, with some features of the mask my character is wearing. It could be a green mushroom with some pink and maybe some mushroom spots or whatever. Oh, and for the TM I would give out, I guess Dazzling Gleam or honestly even Trick sounds fun. The only mon on my team that can actually learn Trick is Grimmsnarl. But with the way how I'm running my gym and the theme I've decided, it kind of makes the most sense. I know it's not a fairy type move per se, but Mud Slap isn't a flying type move either. Isn't that right, Falconer? Dazzling Gleam does make the most sense though because it is a fairy type attack, but I feel that's kind of boring. Also with Trick, it makes me wonder why Whimsicott doesn't get it. It should be able to, but alas. So that would be my team, gym, and scenario for if I were a fairy type gym leader. I really enjoyed this one because I am an avid fan of the Legend of Zelda series. My forest takes a lot of inspiration from the Sacred Grove and Lost Woods aesthetics, and obviously the masks too. Anywho, what did you guys think of the gym? Pretty mysterious and fun, huh? If you had a fairy type gym, what would your team be and what would you do for your own gym? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and also be sure to tell me what gym typing you guys want me to cover next time. Remember, the comment with the highest upvotes will be the one that I tackle next time. We're finally here in 2023, and I'm super excited for what this year has to offer us. There's potential DLC for Scarlet and Violet on the horizon, and who knows just what else Game Freak may have up their sleeves. It's gonna be really exciting times coming up for a Pokemon fan. If you're interested in more Mystic content, check out my TikTok and Mystic Umbreon Shorts YouTube channel. I've got a really fun series starting up there very soon, and of course, have a weekly edition of my Should You Use series focusing on Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. Also, if you're into fanfictions and what ifs, check out Mystic Reads. I offer a ton of creative spoken word content on there, so come join me. Thanks again for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.